I have not posted Marvel Rivals content in 6 months. I simply lost that flame, that drive to actually care enough about this game to make videos. And there's a lot of reasons for that. I do love the game, I never stopped playing it, but other content creators have stopped as well. And while I can't speak for them, I would not be surprised at all if it was for similar reasons. I'm seriously worried about the future of this game, so I'd like to address some of this stuff so we can have a discussion about it, and maybe as many more people make videos about this, it might get heard enough for some serious change to come in. Alright, first big elephant in the room, the competitive in this game has zero integrity. I'm not talking about EOMM, I'm not talking about throwers, I'm not talking about toxicity, I'm talking about the win rate thing. Why can you have a negative win rate and still climb? That is unheard of. Whether you play League of Legends or Overwatch or Call of Duty or like fighting games, you cannot have negative win rates and be climbing. That is not good for anybody. It's not good for people that are in like higher ranks. It's not good for people that are in lower ranks that are trying to climb because they end up in lobbies they shouldn't be in. I had a Sue Storm that was playing awful, holding their ult. I thought they were trolling. They weren't. They just didn't belong in that rank. It was a Grandmaster lobby. Now keep in mind, I got there with about 53% win rate, 40 to 50-ish games played. I think that's pretty average. This guy had 400 ranked games played in that season alone and a 46% win rate. This is not an isolated incident. This happens all the way into Celestial. There are people in Celestial lobbies with sub 50% win rates that definitely don't belong there. It kind of just made me lose interest and stop caring about competitive as a whole. Like, oh, I got GM. This is the big leagues, guys. This is where people start playing good. Nope. It's the same as Plat. It's the same as Diamond. Nothing ever changes because they just let anyone in here. The next problem, and possibly one of the biggest problems of the game as a whole, is the crowd control, the CC, the micro CC. CC Rivals, guys. I made a video about this 7 months ago. This is not a new problem. It's been a problem and it's just been getting worse. I did a quick count. There's 47 characters in Marvel Rivals with Emma Bloodstone, and in about 47 characters, around 30 of them have CC, some kind of CC, either multiple CCs or micro CC or just old CC, but either way, they have crowd control. Overwatch has 50 characters, there's like 20 that have crowd control, and it's mostly tanks. I feel like it's fair for just the tanks to have like some form of CC, slow, stun, their ult, whatever it may be. I should not be getting micro stunned every 2 milliseconds by DPS and supports. This makes like dive completely irrelevant forever and ever, and it leads to another big problem in the game, which is power creep. There's characters that were half decent or at least had the potential to be decent when this game came out. That will never be the case again. A good example is Iron Fist. They won't make Iron Fist good because of, obviously they have some kind of like bias, but at the same time, the game has so much CC, so much sustain. The way the game is designed now, I don't think he can be good without breaking the character entirely, so they'll just let him be bad. And I feel like dozens of characters are going to end up in that pile of characters they don't care about. They're just whatever, man. Just not designed for this game, but enjoy looking at this lore that you enjoy. Like, it is Marvel IP. People will always play Iron Fist because maybe they just love Iron Fist as a character from the comics. But competitively, this character is irrelevant. There's no point in picking Iron Fist. For one, Daredevil kind of just pushed out his slot. He kind of just doesn't do what Daredevil does. Daredevil does his stuff and more. And then on top of that, the way the game is just made, he'll never really shine again. Like, this game's been out for a year and a bunch of characters need reworks already. That's not a good sign. The next big problem is support designs are just boring. I'm sorry, but they're boring. I hate to compare the game to Overwatch, but I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. The designs in there are fantastic. The reason support shine, or they stand out, or they're good, is not only because of the meta that's being played at the time, but the tools that they bring. The utility or their damage. Not the ult, not press Q and nobody gets to play. When we're playing triple support and everybody has a catchphrase to throw out, we end up for like 2 minutes just doing nothing but pressing Q and waiting for it to end, or having to counter it with Magneto. There's a huge ult problem in the game. Yes, the support problem is there because of triple support and the ult, but it wouldn't be a problem if the DPS ults didn't automatically wipe entire teams. Like, every single ult in this game wipes out civilizations. Of course they have to have support ults that can prevent it and mitigate it. That's why triple support's kind of always going to be a thing, because not only are these support ults too strong, they just buffed them. They just buffed Punisher and Star-Lord. Hey, post edit me here. So they buffed DPS ults, and Elsa Bloodstone has really strong poke and can flank. She has very strong CC, so not only is dive more useless because she has these tools to stop their dive, she also adds to the poke problem the game has. Also, her ult can launch the entire team. They're just adding to it. They want people to have these stupid fantasy like DPS ults, and then the supports to have to mitigate it, or tanks. But really, it just ends up being support. And the more this exists in the game, the more they add something stupid where the whole screen turns red and the DPS just kills everybody, the more likely people are going to play something like triple support and eventually watch it become triple tank, triple support, and we're back to 2018. My next big gripe with Rivals, and honestly this is just by principle, they lied about their whole balance philosophy. This game is not balanced for fun, it's not balanced for like casual and everyone's overpowered. That was never true. Not everyone's overpowered. They have a clear bias because it's the same characters every time. The meta's basically not changed at all since season 2. Have we had other metas pop up? Yes. They're quickly stomped out. The tank buster meta stomped out. The double or whatever, the triple tank meta stomped out. Any kind of, even a hint, a whiff that there might be some kind of dive, it completely gets snuffed out. And now dive is pointless because no matter how much they buff the dive characters, they're not going to compete with a triple support micro CC backline. Have you tried playing dive and trying to actually touch the backline? Like me as a Hulkman, even stepping foot in there to see what the situation is, I end up getting killed and mangled. And you can argue all day, oh, bad position, oh, you shouldn't have been there. Bro, you should be allowed to poke or even look without being taken in an alley and shot 18 times while being stunned. It's literally shield and poke with CC and a bunch of sustain. This is the meta of Rivals. It almost seems permanent. It's been the meta since season 2, arguably since season 1 and season 0, but we just had like the precursors for it. Now we actually have it. It's here to stay. It's really boring. I don't care if you like it or you love it. You have to admit that doing this same meta for like 5 seasons is kind of boring. I love this game. I don't want it to die, and it probably never will die because it's Marvel IP. But competitively, I feel like this game is completely like tarnished. I do seriously worry about the future of this game. Like maybe people will play it, but it might be like the laughing stock of like hero shooter community. It might just be like, oh, you play Marvel Rivals? Haha, that game's so like ridiculous. Party game, guys, party game. Please. I know I've been yapping, but I seriously care about the game. I don't want it to be trash. I don't want people to look at this game's ranked and say it means nothing. I don't want to feel like my efforts in ranked mean nothing. And I don't want to play boring ass triple support slop every time I want to win because that's what the enemy team is doing.